guys, welcome back to Tinsley Trials. Today is another Halloween episode. This looks like something I could maybe just do on the regular, but it is my version of a pinup, Rosie the Riveter kind of feeling sort of thing. And of course, if you had a pinup idea, you could of course use this for that. And I use a lot of fun little tips and tricks. We do cut crease today. That's the first one on the channel. We're getting fancy. I guess that's it. Let's jump right in. It is about to be a whole new experience here, okay? So my friend Tyler, y'all remember him, blue hair? You know what I'm talking about. He's our live studio audience tonight. It was Katie for Wednesday's video, and tonight it is Tyler, which is a new kind of thing for me. So if I'm like goofier than normal,
because I'm back now, y'all.
Guess who's back again. Oh my gosh.
When in doubt, twerk it out.
He's twerked that. Oh god. Oh man. This is gonna be a good time. You guys just better prepare yourselves now. Our pinup, we kind of want to do a super flawless finish because pinups were pictures that were then like painted for advertisement because like they would be colored and there wasn't color film and processing then because pinups were really centered more around the 40s and the 50s. And to start that process, we're going to go back to an old-time favorite, the Hard Candy Sheer Here we go. Oh god. Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer Mist 12-Hour Power with coconut water. That was probably a little excessive. And to help us create that flawless finish, we're going to use the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. This is, I think, maybe the third video in a row I've talked about this / use this. And this stuff is the bomb. If you've ever used anything by the company Perfect, it's very similar in texture to any of those products. And to use this, I just dip the pointy end of my Real Technique sponge in it. It is clean. I swirl it around. I just tap it onto the area where I really want to soften that. And once you're primed, you can go ahead and let that soak into your skin, or you can put a little translucent powder over it to really mattify that and seal that softness. And that's actually what I'm going to do. But I'm going to use my e.l.f. HD powder for this. Normally when I'm like baking, I use AirSpun. The top, the sifter of my HD powder broke out of it.
There you
go. Okay, flipped it over. What's the damage? Oh my god. Well, so I guess I'm not using this anymore. The sifter, I mean. Obviously, I'm not wasting the powder, but...
But there's sticks! It's not good.
Oh man, and just dipping straight in there and setting that. Right now, my favorite drugstore foundation, liquid foundation, is from Revlon. It's their Color Stay foundation that I did review for this channel. There's a link to that video down below in the description box. And I am the shade 220 Natural Beige. And before we do that, we're going to go ahead and conceal using the Tarte concealer, the Shape Tape Salon. You guys know I've been loving this a lot lately, but if you want a drugstore substitute, you can certainly sub in the Maybelline Better Skin Concealer. I like that one a lot too. Or if you want something super heavy duty, I think Hard Candy, the Glamouflage Concealer, is definitely what I would call full coverage. And just when you're starting to look like Edward Scissorhands during his Avon transformation, you're going to blend all of that in. Alright, and now we're going to use our foundation. I use like 2 full pumps when I do mine. Okay, and now to highlight, I'm going to use the same concealer, but I am going to use the shade light, fair neutral instead of just light. It's a little bit lighter than my skin tone. Alright, and then you're just going to go ahead and blend that in with your sponge. So now that you look like Casper, you're going to set your highlight with your AirSpun. I like AirSpun because it's not completely stark white. And now you're going to go ahead and do your brows. Pinups have some like really ambitious brows. I feel like we've been doing ambitious brows a lot lately on this channel. And I'm not that ambitious with my brows, so first you're going to comb through them, get any excess product out. You're going to use our favorite wax that we know and love from Salon Perfect. And it's just a little wax pencil. You're going to gently draw that over your eyebrow hairs. Then you're going to take the powder compact from Salon Perfect. I love this compact because it is perfect for every brow color. You have a
So sorry.
You have a blonde shade, a very dark brown, and then in kind of a medium, more reddish brown shade here, and as well as a very sparkly highlight for underneath the brow. And included is a little mirror at the top, so you can just hold this and get your brow on. I use the medium shade to do my brow, and you just go in and you comb down the brow hairs and you outline the top portion of the brow in gentle strokes. I never, ever will underestimate the power of an eyebrow. Just saying. You know, I just gotta say, my brow game is really stepping up in the world. It's going pretty well. Now to conceal, don't feel, we are going to use the same concealer and just a tiny, tiny pencil brush. Like so. And we're just gonna run that along the bottom and blend that out so we have a very sharp eyebrow. Now that your brows are slaying super casually, you know, not anything awesome or anything, you're going to do Taylor is so disrespectful. So disrespectful. You're gonna do your eyelids. Now, I feel like this is like do as you will kind of situation. As usual, I mean, use a product you want to, but in general, the idea of a pin-up eye style eye is very like laid back and soft. There's not a whole lot happening other than like big lashes and wings and things. But we are going to add a little depth to our eyes with some eyeshadow. And for that, we are bringing back the Blushed Nudes palette from Maybelline. I have used this palette, I think, once or twice on my channel previously, for sure in the original Coaching Katie video. And I think also for my Valentine's Day date night video from February. We're trying to achieve a supernatural light type of eye. We're going to use this to create a little bit of the depth we're looking for, but other than that, we're not really looking for a whole lot from our eye. But I'm going to go ahead and use this light sparkly shade here. It's almost a white shade, and I'm going to set the area under my eyebrow with it. I'll also highlight that brow a little bit, you know. Next, I'm going to take this shade here. It's kind of a light, dusty, pink gray color. And I'm going to build that up in my crease. I feel like you guys should be more zoomed in. I'm going to zoom you in. I just went ahead and blended that out with this really, really light pink shade here. And now we're actually going to cut this crease. Stop the presses. Now, this is technically the first time I've done a cut crease for the channel, but it is not my first cut crease. And the reason behind a cut crease is because it really just shows the crease of the lid and gives you a lot of open space and difference of color between the lash line and the actual crease of your eye. And it's just a really cool effect. Of course, you wouldn't have to necessarily do a cut crease on your lid. In fact, if it's not something you want to do, I suggest you don't, as always. But for those of you who are interested in a cut crease, I did put a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand. This is just how I prefer to do a cut crease. I'm just going to get both sides of a flat brush, and I'm just going to cover it in a little bit of concealer. And then very carefully in my mirror, I'm going to trace the crease of my eyelid. And as I get to the outer corner, I'm going to turn and kind of like in a wing shape. And then you spread the concealer out all over your lid. Do you guys see how that really brightens up the eye? And you just repeat the process to the best of your ability on the other eye. And that is basically beginning style cut crease. Now you're going to gently set that concealer you used with the tiniest bit of translucent powder. I'm using AirSpun again. And if you have a matte paint pot, like soft ochre or something like that, that would certainly work for this as well. And honestly, this is probably the easiest, most affordable way I know how to do a cut crease. But there are, of course, 1,000 colors you could use. You could do pinks and blues and whatever color you want works. You can also use liquid eyeshadows to do your cut crease. There are 1,000 ways you could go about this, but this is just how I chose to do this because we wanted a really subtle eye look. Okay, so now we're just going to dust off the excess from our bake. And you should be left with a really pretty matte finish to your skin. Okay, now to contour, I am going to use my favorite contouring palette from WetNWild. Man, if they ever stop making this, I will be so sad. And then to continue that process, I'm going to bronze up my forehead a little bit using the same palette. I'm going to sharpen up this little nose. Now, for your blush, you want to use a really vibrant blush. The pinup style is all about those rosy cheeks, so for that I'm using this blush. It is called Trickery. It is from ColourPop. This lighting does not do this justice. Hey Tyler, how pink is this?
Pink.
That was less than the reaction that I was looking for, but okay. Okay.
Holy crap, it's very pink.
Thank you. And you want to go ahead and apply that brush, but you want to knock off any excess that's on it before, in case you don't have a clean brush. And you want to swirl your brush and your blush. That is always the hardest thing for me to say. Pull off any excess, and then apply it directly to the very front of your cheek till you get your desired rosy shade. You can go ham with this, ladies and gentlemen. And just because you're a pinup, it doesn't mean you have to neglect the glow or anything like that. So we will be doing a highlight. But before we get that far, we need to focus on our eyes again. And we're going to move on to eyeliner. For this, there are a few different options you can use. You can use a pencil, and then you can use a felt tip like I am going to use. You could use a wet liner, like a brush liner, like full-on liquid liner, and that would work fine. And what you're going for is just like a really sharp, big wing. And there you have one wing. And then you just do the exact same thing on the other side. Alright, now that you've got your wing liner situation figured out, you're going to go ahead and... Sorry, there's something weird happening with my lash line. You're going to go ahead and highlight. So I'm going to zoom you out for that. And then we just got lashes and lips, and you are good to go. So for lashes, I am going to use my Get Up and Grow mascara from Almay. I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to go ahead and put on falsies. And today, as usual lately, I am using the Kiss pair of lashes in the style 11. Alright, so now that we have our lashes on, we're going to go ahead and highlight. And to highlight, I'm just going to go in with this really soft shade from the WetNWild highlight palette. And just right on top of the cheekbone. Let me use my pinky for my nose. That's a little trick that Nikki Tutorials taught me. Not like in person, just like through a video. Just so we're clear. And last but not least, the iconic red lip for a pinup. There are two ways that you can do this for a relatively inexpensive price. One way is to use an e.l.f. lip stain. It's a felt tipped lip stain that you apply directly to the lips. This is a super vibrant shade of red, and its exact color is Crimson Crush, and I think these run about $1 to $2. Or you can purchase a ColourPop lippy. Those are $6. This is a matte lip in the shade Creeper. Holy Toledo. This is red. So, we're going to go ahead and apply that. Perfect.
Done.
Done. That's it. Right there. Boom.
And that's a wrap. Alright, everybody. Have a great night. I'll see you on Wednesday.
Alright guys, and with the addition of the iconic red lip, this is finished. So this is actually a relatively simple makeup tutorial if you take out the cut crease and you don't take as long to do your eyebrows as I do. This is just basically a no eyeshadow, heavy brow, bold blush, red lip tutorial, and I did put on false lashes. Obviously they wouldn't have had false lashes then, but I just thought this was kind of a little bit more glam, modern take on the pinup. If you're wondering what this is, it's just a traditional style bandana just rolled up and wrapped on my head. Of course I have a big head though, so it is bobby pinned into my hair. And this shirt is available. It is like a standard shirt from, oh, what is the name of that website? Oh, Mudcloth. So this is a Mudcloth shirt. This is one of their standard tops. They carry it year round, day in, day out. It never like disappears. They still have it. I think they have it in stripes as well, so if you want an off the shoulder top, but it does have 3/4 length sleeves, which me is like the elbow, but for the rest of the world that's a little bit longer. So if you want to know where all of this is available, there are links down below in the description box. And of course, always feel free to sub out like a darker lip, a more brick color, whatever you think works best for you. And of course, I am Morgan, this is Tinsley Trials, and I will see you in my next video.
And I'm Tyler.
Bye. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys this. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And we are super close to 300, so if you have an idea for a 300 subscribers video, leave it down below in the comment section. Okay, bye.